We're taking a look at a few of the parables that Jesus taught, and we took a look at the parable of the sowers first, following up on the heels of camp, where the word of God was preached, the gospel message was heard, and the intention is that what was happened, what took place at camp, translates into life in daily life when we return back. And so, to kind of get across the point that what happened there may or may not take root, we started off by looking at the parable of the sowers. And what happens is, in the parable of the sower, Jesus tells a story of a farmer who goes out and he's throwing out his seed, and there are several different types of ground that the seed lands on. The one is on the walkway, which would be hard, packed dirt, so the seed couldn't penetrate. Another one is rocky soil, that would be shallow soil where the roots don't have any means to dig in, go deep, and get moisture and sustenance. And then you have the soil that is full of thorns and weeds, and they choke out the plant. So the seed takes root, but then the weeds choke out the plant. And then you have the good soil where it takes root and grows and flourishes. And Jesus goes on to explain the meaning of these different things. The hard soil is the one where the seed is the Word of God, and the hard soil is where the Word of God doesn't take any root at all. It just lands, birds come and pick it up, that's Satan coming and just snatching it away. You're hard-hearted, has no impact on you. The Word of God just bounces off of you. Then you have the shallow soil that it says it springs up. Maybe there's a joyful reception of hearing the Word of God, but it doesn't last because it has no depth, it has no nourishment in your soul. And that's the shallow people who never really go beyond the feel-good experiences of life. And then you have the thorny soil, where the cares of the world and the pleasures and these other things of life that we chase after and that we invite in of the world, they're in our life, and so they choke out the Word of God, which is trying to grow in us. But then you have the good soil, where it can take root, and it's allowed to take root, and it grows and it flourishes in our hearts, in our souls, in our lives, and even multiplies to where we bear fruit and spread the seed to other people. And so that is the parable of the sower. And the question is, what is your heart? What is the soil and the ground of your heart, so that whenever the Word of God is spoken to you, do you receive it? Does it bounce off of you like nothing? Is your heart so hardened it will not receive the Word of God? Are you so shallow-minded that it can't penetrate down into the depths of your soul, that you only allow things at a surface level? Is your life so dominated by things of pleasure and the cares of the world that even though you receive the Word of God, it is choked out and ignored because of the seeking of other pleasures? Gardeners tend their garden by breaking up the hard soil and tilling the ground, and they remove the rocks and they pull the weeds, and they take what is bad soil where the seed cannot grow, and they turn it into good soil. And so the challenge this week is to examine yourself in two questions. One, which type of soil is your heart? And number two, what do you need to do to prepare your heart to be the good soil that will receive the Word of God when it is planted? Think about it.